Hi, boys and girls. We're at lesson 2-3, and it's on factors and factor pairs. Now, do we know what that means? Well, we'll learn that as we go. But anyway, the first thing that we're going to be thinking about is listing all the multiplication facts you know that equal 24. That is going to be our math message. Let's work on that. Think about all the different multiplication facts that make 24. All right. So, did you work all those out? Did we pause and work them all out? If not, last chance. Okay. So, let's take a look. We're going to go to some grid paper and we're going to think about. Oop, I got to plug in my pen tool. There we go. All right. So, we're going to go to the grid paper here. And we're going to think about possibility. You know what? And we can even use, actually, our e-toolkit. E-toolkit can be very useful for this, right? So we're actually going to go to that. I think that's going to be a better route. And what we're going to use is the same thing we used before. We're going to make some arrays. We're going to take some counters. We're going to select 25 counters. I'm going to pick fun little bears here. And I'm going to get rid of one of them because 24 was what we're working with. And we know some of the facts already, right? We're going to know right away that, I'm going to now choose my pencil tool. We know that 1 times 24 equals 24, right? That is one that we should all know, that 1 times whatever is that fact. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit. Oh boy, let's try undoing that. Oh, can I undo it? Oh no. Well, that's a little better. Thanks for your patience, guys. So I forgot to turn off my pen tool. All right, so we're going to go back to working with the counters, right? So if I drag them like this, then yes, we have 1 by 24. And I can go vertically too, so I can also say, pen tool back on. Right, so I can also say 24 by 1. Now, those are what we know as the turnaround facts, right? They are essentially the same thing, but thinking of 1 row of 24 versus 24 rows of 1. So they do represent different things, but if you wrote one, didn't write the other, I'm not going to necessarily hold that against you either. All right, now back to the counters. So what if I take 2 rows? What if I take 2 rows here? If I take this in half, then I'm going to be able to do that. So half of 24 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're going to take that. We put that up here. We're going to take the other half and put that right there. So now we have, hold on. Now we have 2 times 12 equals 24. And we can also say that 12 times 2 equals 24. Okay, so let's keep going. What if I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and oops, hold on. There we go. What if I made a group like that? I'm going to move this group over just a little bit, just so it's lined up a little bit better. Okay, what do I have here? I have 4 rows of 6. 4 times 6 equals 24. And 6 times 4 equals 24. Nice. So, are there any other facts? We have 1 and 24. They go together. And then we have 2 and 12. They go together. And then we have 4 and 6. They go together. But what a, oh boy, that didn't work. So the e-toolkit, problem with e-toolkit is you can't just undo like in Cami. You have to erase. Not ideal. So anyway, let's try that again. 4 and 6, they go together. But what about this number in between 2 and 4? I kind of skipped past that, didn't we? What about 3? Does 3 have a number that it goes with, a pair that it goes with, that when we multiply it together equal 24? It does. It is an 8. And we have there yet another pair. And what I was drawing here, and it's not as pretty as say I was doing it on paper or on a whiteboard, is what I call a factor rainbow. And all these little lines show the pairs that match up with each other and the turnaround facts that kind of go with each other. They are pairs for that largest number, that 24. Okay, so they are factor pairs. So that last factor pair we had was 3 times 8, or 8 times 3. And they are essentially the same pair, right? We can think of them differently because we might say 3 rows of 8 and 8 rows of 3, but they are essentially the same pair, okay? So let's go back real quick. We'll talk about what is a factor. Well, a factor is the number being multiplied, or what are factors? They are the numbers being multiplied. I need to fix the grammar on that. Now, the number they equal is the product. So if we can see down here, I'm going to hide this. The factors are 4 times 6. The product is 24. 4 and 6 are a factor pair for 24, right? And I could say 6 times 4 too, right? But they are a pair. They go together for that product, okay? So this right here demonstrates that. It shows that, okay? So what I'd like you to do is take a look at our journal page, page 39, and I want you to think about what are some equations or factor pairs that make these different numbers: 20, 16, 13, 27, 32. Okay, we need to work those out. We need to work on them before we do something else. All right, so we're going to work on this. We're going to think about what is a factor, or what are the factors of 20. All right, so let's work on that. And when you're ready, we're going to go over 20 together. Okay, and there's a really cool tool in our everyday math lesson 2-3. Okay, and I'm going to give you a second to work on that. And when you're ready, we'll click into this. Okay, so lesson 2-3. You can access this through Clever, right? And I'd like you to use this for a few different things. But the first thing we're going to look at is the finding factor pairs activity. So we're going to click on this and wait for it to load. Okay. And right here, it says, drag the blue point to help you find factors of 20. Look at that. All right. So right now we have 20 dots, but are they in a rectangle? They're not. So we're going to need to rearrange them. And look how we can kind of rearrange them like this. Right? So we have a 4 and a 5. Okay, so if I click in these little boxes, we can say 4, 5. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is keep dragging, right? That was one pair. But look, we have another one that makes a rectangle, 2 and 10. So we can say 2 and 10. That's another one. And we know 1 and 20. So we're going to put those in there, right? And there. Are there any more for 20? We've got 1 and 20 here. We've got, let's see, we've got 2 and 10. 3, nope, doesn't work. 4, 4 works. 4 and 5. Or 5 and 4. 6, does 6 work? Nope. 7, doesn't work. 8, nope. 9, nope. 10, yes. All right, so we have all those facts. So let's check it. And 20 has 6 factors. Did you find them all? Yes, 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 yes. All right, so this is a nice way to kind of check and see if you had all the factors. But it doesn't help you with actually writing the equations. So what are the pairs that go together? Well, we had 1. Oh my goodness, I'm using the rectangle tool. Let's undo that. There we go. I do like the blue color though. I'm going to go with that. All right, so we have 1 times 20 equals 20. And notice how I did equals 20. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it doesn't have whatever it's equal to on the other side, it's not an equation. It's just a, how would I put it? A phrase or a statement in math. It isn't a complete equation. So we have to have one set of numbers with an operation or just a number by itself, an equal sign, and then another number or set of numbers with an operation. Okay, and they have to be equal on each side. So the next one was 2 times 10 equals 20. And that third one was 4 times 5 equals 20. You do not need to do the turnaround facts for this, okay? So our pairs, we're going to say 1 and, oh boy, that's a tough run, 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. All right, so I'd like you to try the rest of these on your own. And when you're done with them, the question down below is kind of an important one. I want you to say to yourself, right, how do you know when you've found all the factor pairs for a number? And I'm going to give you a hint. My factor rainbow is a way to check. It's something that's very helpful. Okay, so think about what I did with this factor rainbow and think about, could I fit another set of factors somewhere in here? Is there a way that did I miss something? Or was there something that I could have possibly fit in there, at least with whole numbers? Let's think about that, okay? And so when you're done with that page, I'd like you to take a little time to go to the everyday math, and I want you to play Factor Captor. Factor Captor is super fun. You can play as a group, and we can even try that. But nonetheless, you can click on your name, and then you can get started. And I believe you can play on your own. But let's imagine I'm Doyun, and I think it's actually having me play with you, Doyun. Sorry. But let's see. Oh, I see. You know what? This game is kind of the old-fashioned game for it. I want you actually to go to this right here for Factor Captor. And this right here is what I'm looking for. And yes, you can actually play by yourself or play with a partner. And we press start. And player 2 will be the computer. And I'm going to choose orange. And you can choose the color for the computer. I'm going to make green for the computer. And when we get started, it'll be telling you instructions, and I have them here in my headphones.
Number. Then click OK.
So the object of the game is one person picks a number, and the other person tries to find as many of the factors as they possibly can for that number. So I'm gonna claim the 1. I'm gonna claim a 5. I'm gonna claim an 11. And are there any other factors for 55 that are on the board that haven't been claimed yet? And that's the object of the game. Okay, so I don't think there is. I'm going to click OK. And now.
Great. You found the factors.
All right. So
now it's your turn to choose a target number and have the computer find its factors.
So let's think about what would be some numbers that my opponent, if I chose that number, they would have very few options to choose from. So I'm going to think about a number. And I'm going to choose I'm going to choose 17. All right, and so my opponent chose 45, and I know that I can choose 9 and 5. I can also choose 15 and 3. All right, another turn. Let's see, what other possible numbers can I choose? I'm going to choose a rather large number, even though I know that there are some factors with this one that might be able to be taken. 51. Yep, 3 times something equals 51. 17. Ooh, so they chose 22. I would have chosen 11, but I don't have that available, so I'll have to just choose 2. Are we following how this game works? Let's play this game. Let's test it out. Check out the rules as we start. I kind of skipped past that real quick. But either way, this is how we play. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this game, and I'd like you to work on page 39 and also get a little time with Factor Captor. And we're going to find it right here. I made a mistake before, but we figured it out. All right, so anyway, have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.